Press play.
I think I did. Hi, welcome to Collective Frequency. I'm Cheyenne. Today I'm going to talk about myofascial body work, and then we're going to do a core synchronism meditation that I will guide you through, which hasn't been taught to the public. So this will be fun, but I'm just doing it rebel. So I guess I just kind of want to know how many of you are familiar with body work and maybe what types. So I'll just let you start, Tiffany. We'll go around the circle and introduce yourself. And okay, you have lost your turn. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
So I'm Tiffany, and body work, you say. I get massages, and I know that my body needs it, and I know that my body needs movement, and my energy doesn't flow unless I actually move, and sometimes on the table when other people move my energy through. Doing the body work, it clears things. So that's probably the extent of my knowledge.
That's a lot, though. Cool.
Hi, I'm Darby.
Hi.
I do a lot of stretching. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah. Work in your body.
I'm not going to launch into anything major, I'll just tell you. I'm Caroline. I do bodywork for a living. I have for 24 years. Cheyenne and I trade.
Yeah.
I know some things, for sure. but
Just
this
a
is
few.
her class, so I'm going to defer and move on.
Jump in whenever.
I'm Sharina. I've had some body work done, and I'm wanting to learn more about doing it on my own and stuff.
Cool.
Carlo. Well, one time I got really drunk and we wrecked our friend's truck. We got to do body work on it. We went to the mall. We were a white truck and we did it really bad. And so we got some house paint and we're out there trying to paint the truck with house paint. It's fucking funny.
I don't think I can help you with auto body work. Maybe buffering, scrubbing.
When I tell people I do body work, they're like, cool, I got this dent in my car.
Exactly.
Not what I meant. I
Mexico.
That's what it sounded like.
Had never thought of that. That's
Well, you
awesome.
should have seen one of our t-shirts that we fix your fuck ups, and we're like, really? You know what? Let me tell you.
I got a big one for you.
What, massages and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could use one.
we all
I
can.
know
I was just here yesterday, and Kenneth was here.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I've had acupuncture done. I've had massaging done.
Thanks.
I had cranial sacral or whatever that one is. Michael did it. It's pretty interesting, and it makes you feel like your whole body just kind of clears out your head.
Right.
But enough to say that I know. No, always want to learn more.
Cool.
I'm Sam. I don't know. I guess I stretch, I walk, go to the gym, and get massages from Michael. That's what I do.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
I'm Tosh. I have never done a massage before, like ever. Yeah, I don't know why.
But you massage faces.
Oh yeah, I do facials, so that's kind of.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It is.
But I do
Reflexology.
more with energy work because of course I do facials and of course I incorporate like crystals in my
Nice.
work. So.
Cool.
And sure enough, I was off today.
I'm Kristen, and I've had acupuncture, sound therapy, massage, a whole bunch of things, and it's all awesome. Every single one of them.
I agree.
I'm Kathia. I've had acupuncture, massage, and I do a lot of dancing. So I guess I sort of do self-massage with that.
Great.
It's
Yeah.
sort of a lot of movement, especially focus on the abdomen, things.
Thanks. Good. Cool. feel you.
Thank you for being.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Hi everybody, I'm Anthony. How's everybody doing? Good. Yes. Yeah. No. Not there yet. Oh, body work. Yeah, we're getting body work done. The earth is doing it right now, whether you like it or not. Your body's doing this and doing that, and doing acupuncture, and that's pretty cool. First time doing that, and going through Arjuna's class, doing body movement, but haven't really done the massage thing yet. I'm getting there though, but I will one of these days. And speaking of body, why did the skeleton cross the road to get to the body shop?
Har 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 har. Yeah. I'm so glad we got that one on here.
I'm Tammy, and bodywork just has been done on me my whole life, I guess. I've done many different things, acupuncture, massage therapy, many different types of massage therapy, flotation, just all kinds of different things that, well, it's been 8 years of collective frequency, so whatever was taught here, that's what I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
We
yeah.
didn't even
It's
say
a lot.
feather wet work or
I
anything.
know, yeah. So I did all that stuff. So, and today I just got all kinds of body work. I was like, shit. I got off of the table and I was like all dizzy. And she's like, oh, let me ground you. She opened up like my whole like left side meridian. I could feel it just go. And I was like, oh my god. And oh, I don't feel right. Am I in my body? What's going on? But yeah, I had that done today. I was like, oh.
Nice, good.
Cool. Hi, my name is Alfredo, and I do not know a lot about bodywork. That's about it.
Cool. Welcome.
Sweat is a major body work.
I mean,
Sweat
I would say it's
is,
bodywork.
yeah.
I mean, it's not bodywork.
Body work.
Any way you work your body.
Your body
I
is
guess,
sweating,
yeah, I
it's
guess.
Right.
moving its ass.
It's like whole lymphatic system is just draining out.
I mean, yeah, if you look at it that way, I guess you're right.
And the lymph is so important. I mean, it makes up most of what pushes. I mean, it doesn't have its own system to push things through, so it relies on us to push things through, which is kind of what we're going to work on today. I'm going to do some myofascial work and just teach you guys a few techniques that we can do on ourselves when we're feeling stressed, or little points we can do in our head. But I wanted to start with a quote from T.S. Eliot from Four Quartets. He said, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." I felt like after I got through massage school and my core training, I read that quote somewhere and just started crying, thinking, I've been in my body this whole time and had no idea where everything was and what it could do. And it's amazing once you kind of discover all that you're capable of. And so being able to move your body and movement it's freedom, and when you're in pain, when you're feeling like something just doesn't want to move, something doesn't feel right in you, then you can't move and you can't get going with things. And so body work is just like that. It's a discovery of something that's with you all the time, but most of us don't have a deep understanding of, because our schooling doesn't. I mean, we basically stop anatomy in 8th grade, and if you're not moving into the health field and that's what you decide at 15 that that's what you want to do, then you're SOL. But we here at Collective Frequency can do a bit of exploration with our own bodies. All of our bodies are designed relatively the same, variations, of things, but everything's basically in the same place. even if it's off just a little bit here and there, even if you got into a car accident and they had to reattach it, it's not that far from where, and you might have to adjust to a few things, but one of my favorite parts, I work at a chiropractic office, and one of my favorite parts is when people get into car accidents or anything, and they'll come in and they've got these big old scars and nothing's been able to, it's so much fun to be able to break those up and really get to the bottom of them, because I moved to New Mexico because I got diagnosed with melanoma, and I have this scar here that's really small now, but it was huge when I first had it, and I didn't have any feeling in my chest for 2 years almost, and acupuncture, massage, topical cannabis oil, everything helped bring it back up. And now I can pull this up, no issues, no problem. The scar is like half its size. Can't wait for my 10-year anniversary to send a picture to my surgeon, because he told me I'd never be able to feel it again and just deal with it. So I can politely send a reply back to him that he's wrong. I figured it out. So my focus is soft tissue. I don't do a lot with auto body stings or, stuff like that. So body work is just our meat sacks here. And I like to incorporate energy work into it because, in my opinion, there is no separation. And once I finally went through 7 weeks of core, it was a great meditation, but it was a lot to practice and take in. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway.
Just keep going.
Yeah. So I like to use our bony landmarks, the elbows and clavicle, the bones that you can see, as little trail markers, stepping stones to locate our muscles and tendons. So we start by palpating an area of pain or soreness. We want to locate the area that you're hurting. Be aware and attentive of what you're sensing through your fingers. I mean, most of you, if you're already doing some of this yourself, it's not an awareness you need to bring to mind, but if you want to help other people, just helping them be aware of the sensations in their fingers. We have so many nerves at the end of our fingers, and so we're aware of a lot more than our brain really processes sometimes. But let your hands and fingers be relaxed, be patient, sink into your tissue, sensing the temperature, contours of the area. You could close your eyes periodically as we start to do this and just get sensations for how it feels on your hands, how it feels in your body. Invite the tissue into your hands. A lot of times people come into my office and they want deep tissue, and that's fine, but we're not really that thick. Like, no matter what, we're not. We only have like a few inches. So when you push down into yourself, you really are not pushing that hard. I always tell people, I will push to where your muscle resists. And if it lets me sink in further, I'll do that. But if not, that's where we're holding it. And, not everybody likes it that way, but it really helps the tissue soften. I don't know if you've ever played with cornstarch and water, but if you try to grab a hold of cornstarch tightly, it will harden, and you can't, no matter how much you try to grab a hold of it, it won't budge from its form. The fascia is the same way. You can push into it all you want. You can be sitting there pushing. That is not gonna budge. It just wants you to listen to it. And that's your body saying, no, that's too much. You're pushing too hard. So just go to where I'm resisting and then sink in more if it'll let you. And most of the time when people are on the table too, I'll sink in as far as it'll let me go, and then it's too much. So we can really do it with soft touches. The body is waiting to help you. Its unique shapes and its buried positions are inside of you, waiting for you to discover them. So let's go sauntering. So if you guys want to sit, I don't know, get comfortable in your positions. So fascia is a continuous sheet of fibrous membrane located beneath the skin and around your muscles and your organs. It's a 3-dimensional matrix of connective tissue weaving from head to toe throughout the body. It's amazing. If you ever get a chance to Google it, it's one of the funnest rabbit holes you could ever go down. But it varies on spatial layering, carrying blood, lymph, nerve, adipose tissue encases each muscle fiber, every single one, even the teeny tiny ones that lift your hair up when you get goosebumps. Fascia's around that too. So we're gonna start at the head. So placing your thumbs at your temples and the tips of your fingers along your hairline here. And we're just going to lightly, as if you were holding a coin to your forehead, gently press into the tissue and move it around. Just however feels comfortable. Yeah, don't try to just slide over the tissue. Just as if you're pushing a coin over your head. And once your forehead feels a little loose, move into your scalp and just start trying to get that tissue to move around. If you feel like it doesn't want to move around, grab your hair and just make a little ball. Not too much that it hurts, but that you can feel it lift a little bit. And you can do that all around. I like to go behind my ear and grab because those muscles hurt all the time. I mean, we're constantly trying to keep this head up, moving around, looking at traffic, everything, computers. So when you get to your ears,
Is this still recording? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. When you get to your ears, place your thumbs inside and the rest of your fingers on the outside here. And I want you to just gently pull them lateral, away from your head. Just gently. If it feels like you're stretching them too much, just lighten, soften that. But you really want to pull from the inside. Let me get closer so you can see. Right there, and just pull it. Like you want to just gently pull your ears off your head and throw them away. So then move your thumb superior to the flat of the ear. Do you feel that on the inside? Or no, sorry. Do it on this top part first. Sorry. I have a flow I was trying to stay in. So then pull them just up, straight superior, just slightly. So you feel it kind of tug on the canal a little bit. You feel that? It's just straight up. Okay. Yeah. All right, next, move your thumbs behind the earlobe, right here. Like I said, shouldn't wear earrings. I like to use my first finger. You can use whatever finger you want. You could stick them in. Yeah, go for it. And then pull them close to your face, but pull them straight down.
So this whole time I've just been doing that?
Yeah, basically. Well, and there's attachments right behind the ear that are attached to the neck. The SEM comes up and it attaches right here, and it comes all the way down and over here, and others that come up and around the head, so it loosens up the temporal muscles and helps everything that's attached kind of move around. So then take a finger, it doesn't matter, I like to use my pointer finger, but underneath that little ridge, like right in front of the canal, if you just push into it, apply light pressure, and you'll start to feel it soften, yeah? Everybody kind of feel that? And just hold it there, and as it softens, just keep pushing in. Yeah, breathe. Notice, do your ears feel uneven? Is one letting loose more than the other? I definitely have one letting loose more than the other. And now I have one that's starting to hurt as I do this.
I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts so
So
much.
then just lighten up, or I like to move further back. Like your ear will slide you forward into the canal, but you want to stay on that back part that feels kind of hard, sort of feels like that part that you don't want to push on, but you want to push into it. And then just hold it and see as it releases. And then just move your ears around. Try to move them. Does it hurt? Yeah. If it does, then just tug on your ears a little bit. I mean, you can move them, squish them around, like just.
New glasses
Huh?
clamp around your ears.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they clamp your head, so you really get a lot of tension.
Yes.
Right there.
I normally am wearing glasses, and they are always weighing on that little spot. There's also one here. You can, if you go to this part of your head, you can feel a little indent right in there. You can push in there gently sometimes too. All right. How do we
This feels
feel?
like the Ferengi.
Yeah.
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 My mom, the first time I did her there, she was like, "Oh, do the Ferengi on
Do
us. That's
that.
lovely."
Where am I at? Okay, so you'll feel maybe a little less tension in your neck with that ear. Anytime that you're feeling tightness right in here, go to your ear to release that. So then moving along, put your fingers along this, your cheekbones are called your zygomatic arch. And you want to put your fingers all along here. Push into the tissue. Do you notice that the tissue wants to be pulled or pushed one way over another? My face is actually moving like sideways. You can feel it, like one side wants to be pulled down and one side wants to be pushed up. So do that, whatever it wants. And feel free to like move along your tissue too. Like you don't have to, even if it just feels like you're barely, that'll help your lymph. Massage is no more than pushing a coin across the table. You're just light pressure, it will respond best to that. Okay, so then with one hand, I take and push the tissue up over your zygomatic arch, and with the other, slide the hand down. It's going to slip, but you want to pull it, the skin straight down.
Buccinator?
Huh?
Buccinator?
Right? Yeah.
So what your kissy muscles are your buccinators.
And you don't have to, if you can't keep your hand there, because like my face is oily and I can't like quite keep it staying on.
You're better. Don't mind me, I'm rubbing my buccinator. It's like a little out of line.
You just want to slide the tissue away from each other. Because anytime you're going to move it the same direction, you're going to be pulling the tissue up together. So I like to hold it in place like you're sticking, I don't know how to describe it. Like you just want to stick something to the wall, right? Yeah, it's going to make you tired. But then slide it down because those jaw, I mean, we talk all the time, right? We eat all of those, yeah.
What?
Those muscles.
You know why my face is so thin? Because I work.
So then switch sides.
Oh, you gotta get that exercise.
Even when I was extra fat, I was like, my face is thin because I talk so much. If only I could make my midsection do that. Man, damn, I'd have a six pack. Used to say my side
This is hard to do when you're smiling.
No, you've all done it. Yes.
Yes, That's what my brother taught my son, and then one night I was telling him to do something. He was like, "Why, Mom? Why do I have to do that?" I'm like,
I love Hunter.
"Yes."
So then move to your jawline, and we're going to push into where your cheek sinks in, that little divot, and pull along the jawline, just over the ridge. Because this part, like, never.
Down from the mandible.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll do this for your facial.
Okay.
Well, it ain't a man. I'll tell you that. Don't push down on your man.
Dibble.
Yeah. You never realize how tense that part is.
And then switch sides if you feel like that one.
We'll call this hand shaving.
Yes, exactly. We're shaving. I know. We all look so funny. I wish you could all see how funny they look. I can watch them. Yep. I did this in the mirror many times. So. All right. So then I also want you to do it sideways on your jaw and push into the bone. Try not to slip down under the jaw, just keep it right along. Sometimes I will hold on to one side, like hold on to my chin, and then slide towards the ear so that you get that masseter muscle right here. It's so meaty, and you could even like grab it. Sometimes I will grab like the inside of my mouth and I'll sit there and like scrape it out. It does not feel good, but you can do it. Yeah.
Well, we might have a little bit going on right now. How do you get ready to please your partner?
You do. Dude, I'm just moving my masseter.
I'm
Don't
working the
worry. Wait, isn't your mandible? Where is it?
Your mandible's actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was going to say.
This part is.
Yeah, no, it's this hole. Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
whole
you're
thing.
right.
It's the whole
Yeah.
little piece that goes like this.
Right.
And then your masseters here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't remember.
That's just that muscle, though.
What is this one?
Relax.
I don't know. I should have brought my book. I thought about
It's
it.
okay. I know most my you know.
Would this
Yeah.
increase the collagen because you're
Yes,
moving?
yes.
Would
Because
it?
half the time when that's really all like inflammation is just collagen. It's just collagen that's stuck. And collagen is healing and inflammation is supposed to be healing. But if it stays there for too long, it does the opposite. I had an instructor describe it as the scaffolding left over on a building. Say a building's done and everything's up, you're good to go, but they just decided to leave the scaffolding there. So now you have this annoyance on your sidewalk. And we've got sidewalks all over in here, and annoyances everywhere. So this myofascial, yeah, right? So your faces feel looser, yeah.
Well, you know, collagen is just a string of amino acids.
Right, yeah.
So X,
Break them
just so
down.
you all know, amino acids is lots of things. So you consume more amino acids, your collagen.
Yeah. So my cupping is myofascial, and I do cupping as well. They have nice little face ones that you can always get on.
I left it on one side for too long.
I did that over here. I had this giant circle, just like. I'm like, all right, well.
You just make up a cool story like, I know it's octopus, we're gonna say.
Yep. Yeah.
How long do those last?
Weeks sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It depends on how purple it is. Yeah, I've seen people that I haven't seen in 3 weeks to a month that still have like an outline of it on there. So myofascial work, it's just it's trying to create the idea is that it pulls the tissue up into it, creating space underneath so that fluid can move freely through it. Because that's the issue, is that the fascia works as a glue and it holds everything together, everything. So if it's holding it together up here on the surface, you better believe it's holding it next to your organs, every little nerve ending, and we have to clear room for that. We have to make space for all of the fluid to just flow.
So is that the same thing as the little ugly parts of the cellulite.
Exactly. They market it to be a cosmetic thing, but it's really just health and body and moving your fluid. So. It is so painful on your legs and butt, by the way, if you decide to do it yourself. But it gets. No, I didn't bring my cups. I should have thought about it.
With a lymphatic paddle. Have you ever seen that?
Scraping. Yeah. I thought about bringing those, but I was like, I'll just start out simple.
I mean, when she does it, she looks like she's kind of beating the hell out of herself. And I mean, I understand what she's
Sometimes it doesn't feel good, but they just call it scraping. That's what the Chinese call it, and they literally just take a tool and you'll hook one spot in place and just sit there and scrape it. Yeah, people will do it here. I mean, I've done it to people, and you just break like almost every blood vessel that's in there, but then their neck pain is diminished significantly.
I was wondering about that because I know they do like.
It can be painful, but.
If you have fibromyalgia or arthritis or any of those pains, none of the fluid is going to do what causes that pain. The toxins are stuck.
It's all just glued down.
There's only 3 ways you can move your limb: touch, exercise, and water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So real quick though, doesn't high cortisol levels create a film in addition to your fascia that's also hard to break down?
Yeah, it does.
And it almost feels like
stress.
It's tight
Yeah,
muscle.
yeah, exactly. I took an advanced myofascial class, and the instructor said that when your fascia is too tight, it's like a wetsuit that's a size too small, and that's what is around your whole body. So when you feel like you're tight and you just can't stretch out, it's because your wetsuit's too small. So we gotta, it's like we gotta stretch it out somehow. But yeah, it was actually really gross. I was like, ew. That's right. Your wetsuit's too small. Let's stretch it out here. Okay, so let's grab our lips. We're gonna make a little duck face. I don't know how I'm gonna talk and do this one, but
Well, just tell us.
smush your lips between your fingers. Move your fingers lateral, so towards the outside of your face, and yeah, right.
Do the duck.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I like to just like pull the lips forward, like. Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is what you do to entertain your child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like,
Yep. You sit there and squish it. Mm-hmm. And then move to like the outside of your lips, right here. And this is your booster. Your booster. Right? That muscle? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I haven't done one on my mouth.
Don't suck.
I'm right, but for now. If you want to do it on like both fingers on one side, go for it. And you're just kind of pulling the tissue. I don't ever tug that hard, but if you do it over and over again, rip it off. Sick of you. But if you just do it. Exactly. And that was kind of my thoughts. You're like,
play with your hair, play with your lips.
right, you're sitting in traffic, you're just like waiting and stuff. Like these are my waiting for the water to boil exercises. I'm just sitting here like, okay.
This is a great thing. You know when you look over at the person driving next to you and you're like, dude, they got a big booger. They look over and you're all.
People probably see that all the time for me because I'm constantly sitting there like scraping myself. What is this white girl doing?
She's increasing collagen. It's her collagen workout.
Your collagen workout. We should make one. That'd be funny.
Totally. We should do a whole YouTube channel. Follow people around.
So then take a hand and press it just below your earlobe over here, or whichever side you want. We'll do both. Take the other hand, drag it inferior towards your clavicle, straight down. Don't move it to the center, move it straight down. And just do that a few times. And try to really like hook that muscle. Yeah, try to really hook that muscle right to the bone of the ear, like right below your ear there. This is the SCM, yeah. Don't try to sound fancy, I'd say it.
That's what I was asking about, the stamens or
Sternocleidoid, yeah.
I just like to say big fancy muscle.
Right? So then just, if you feel that it starts to loosen up by your earlobe, move down further and hook it where you feel it tense up again, and then just slide down to your clavicle, your collarbone. And you just keep doing that over and over. Kathy, go straight down, not over.
No, it feels really good right there.
Oh, I know, yeah, we'll get there. So then if you want, like sometimes I like to move to the front of that muscle because it comes here right next to your esophagus and it attaches right here. So you can start to move it as you feel the SCM, well, that part of it loosen, you can move over to the other part of it and avoiding you'll feel when you start to move closer to the manubrium that you'll feel this other muscle right here, kind of grab it, there we go.
Yeah, I was grabbing mine. I call it the vagina next muscle.
Mm-hmm.
When I take a selfie, it looks like this. It's terrible. I have a vagina in my neck.
We all do.
It's the joys of losing weight.
Only in your face.
It's true. It's true.
So then try to slide it just slightly over your manubrium then.
So you're talking about the attachment of the clavicle and to the
Yeah,
sternum?
yeah, right here. That little bumpy part that feels like a U, you can almost stick your thumb in there. There are attachments all along here. So.
Our space is priceless.
So then how's that side feel? Compare it to the other side.
Yeah.
Just sit and like feel that for a second. Yeah. Now let's do it on the other side. Other side. Here we go. Go straight down.
I didn't know you're supposed to do this, but I used to always just go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Well, we'll get
And my
to
mom would be like,
that.
what are you doing?
Your platysma.
I'm stretching.
I forgot the camera was on. Huh?
We're hypercolor.
You're high. Yeah, some people have very high colors.
Hypercolor shirts. You can stick your hand in places you shouldn't. Leave a print.
That was my dad. He was so white, like that. It was like,
My mom used to freak out when Hunter would, his skin would go from white to red. What happened? Like he's white. Don't touch him.
So then find your manubrium here. And one more before I get to that one, I guess. There's a little exercise you can do to just work the anterior side of your cervicals, because I work that all the time on people, but I really often get that nobody's ever worked in here before. So if you can find that spot that goes in between that muscle, you can feel it, but not on your esophagus, right next to it. Put your fingers there. You can put them both in and then just move them back and forth.
I've been doing that forever.
Yeah, right?
Does it
Half of
work
these
out
are like
for your
instinctual.
Because sometimes it gets stuck, so I like moving it.
Yeah.
Go back where it needs to go.
So you like want to sit and just kind of, I mean, not if it's painful, but you know,
Oh, yeah, but it
move
is
it around.
too.
Oh, yes. I'm touching my high boy.
How's your neck feel? Feel a little looser?
Not as loose
Yeah.
as the other side, though.
Let's put some headbanging music on.
Right? So then find your manubrium. It is this little circle, like U part right on top of your sternum. Press into it while you're looking down and hold onto it. And then I want you to make your biggest grimace face and look up while you're holding the tissue. And Yep. And then as it loosens, try to hold more of it down. And
Use your grr face.
yeah, grimace. We're like, "Urgh." So then just keep pulling the tissue down and pushing into. It does not feel good. It does after, but it hurts. Myofascial, it really, you're stretching, you're pulling stuff, so it. Right. Well, you use the flat part of your hand. So even if you have kneel, you could even lay it kind of like your fingers across your clavicle and try to push, but.
Should do this after your hair all day.
Yeah.
Gotta stretch my forearms.
So yeah, that's kind of some myofascial for your face, and just kind of you can do that in your shoulders. You can continue through, and I like to hold on to grip one side and try to pull it in an opposite direction. Because our arms are constantly moving out, and where the attachments are here, if your arm is sore, or even if it's not sore, if you just work out all the time, use your arms all the time, your neck is going to be sore because of where they come and attach. And especially working in your sternum, if you can find along here in the divots in between the intercostals, the ribs, you can just do point work in there. Even if you just sit, and try and move it, it might hurt if you're not used to moving it around, but there's a ton of attachments here and your shoulder, right, exactly. So when you pull back.
Most people spend their time like this, you're extended here and you're shorter here.
Right.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Have you ever done myofascial, with a tennis ball, maybe somebody can't reach very well, and they can take that ball and roll it across their body?
Yeah. You could use a tennis ball. You could, depending on, I've had people that use lacrosse balls with it as well. But if you just had a roller, foam rolling, you can kind of just take a small roller into places. I like to put it up against the wall and lean into it, and then kind of move up and down. Yeah, and I go all the way down to the elbow to try and break up the tissue here. I'll also do that with my hips, because trying to roll your IT band out is really, really painful.
It is, and it's because the nerves that come to your IT band do not like that kind of pressure.
Exactly. But if you can lean into it, if you put it up against like a foam roller up against the wall, and you lean into it, and you just small movements, 3 or 4 inches.
Will it unpinch that nerve? I am numb from here to here and here to here because of that.
Do it. Try it. Yeah.
Your psoas is probably really tight in your hip flexors.
I was going to say right in here is probably pinched, which is why you're having it here. It's probably there, and then right at your knee.
Kathy, you need to stretch.
Kathy, you need to get a massage.
It's my whole right side, which is weird.
Did your man shut down your right side, your man's side?
I think I use it too often.
Our dominant side, yeah. So then let's go to our hands, because we use them so often. And I like to just do point work into the palm, moving along the palm of the thumb. You'll just feel little divots. So, maybe your skin doesn't want to move that much there. I like to also just open palm and scrape it. Yeah, exactly. Scrape it down over that, and it kind of hurts a little, but I'm like, ow. Yeah, this is where some of that scraping, Kathy, would, like a tool, you could use that to scrape over, because I wouldn't use that.
Hand scraper.
I would say you could use like spatula, those like wood ones. To go for it. Not a plastic one though.
Spatula.
No, they don't have a handle. They're like, you just hold on to them and you can,
Well,
like,
they
I'm talking about chef tools, I don't know.
scraper.
A meat tenderizer.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Dun, 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 dun. So then, if you want to move up through your hands, you want to try and separate your fingers. If you go through them and you notice that there's not a lot of room between a couple of them, make more. They can still be friends. They just don't need to share a room anymore. Like,
I like that.
yeah, they just, you know, they are codependent no more. Have a jazz hands. There we go. So then just try and get into the divots of each of your metacarpals. And I'm using my thumb on the other end to just push in and kind of grab and just create space there. And do that in your thumb too. You can kind of push through. Most of the time I want to push down through here, and then when you're done, pull. I mean, my hands are like sweating, so I'm not really going to be able to pull my finger that much, but you want to try and pull the joints out. Yeah.
That's what we have kids for in my country. It's like, okay,
Pull my finger. Right. I wish I could on command. Can't do it. Yeah. Be so funny. I know. He did the other day. He walked up and was like, "Mom, hey, come give me a kiss," and then gave me a kiss, and then like, you turd. Right? You turd. So then switch hands. If you haven't done it.
Hang out with adults and what do we do? We talk about butts.
I gave that up as a teacher. I just never talk about it. It's fine.
It's always funny. Then the adults
So I used to have my honey do the Indian burn on me.
Yes. No, do the burn on me, please. Yeah.
It hurts so bad.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to do that.
Did he make you a garden?
That's like, I'm not do it, but it's better with two.
It is.
I can do myself like this, but with two, it's awesome because it gets that lymphatic movement.
If you take your hands between a forearm and
Right,
this, all
right.
up and down.
But this will loosen up that Popeye muscle too. Like if you can loosen up your hands and the attachment in there, it'll loosen up here. I mean, you can do the same stuff, whatever you feel, find a bony landmark, little trailhead right here, and then just try and pull the tissue away, because most of our muscles attach above and below a joint. They cross it. So we want to work those areas that we feel are the most tense, and just slide your finger right over the tissue. And
He's touching himself.
I know I had trouble trying to figure out what to call this class. I was like, I better just leave it.
Oh, why? We've already gone into the ditch.
Yeah.
Might as well swim in it.
All right, so how do you feel? It like kind of gets things going, gets everything moving. I feel like my fingers can move. I know, right? Yeah, no, I do too. And I'll sit there at, watch TV, and I'll be sitting there like scraping my leg, just doing whatever. But
That's gotta be exciting. You do that during your first date. Don't mind me.
during first aid, just sitting here for
These things, just this on me.
don't mind me. So I'm gonna do a little. The energetic work that I do is core synchronism. Dr. Stevens created it at the School of Natural Therapeutics, and he did it off of cranial sacral therapy He studied polarity therapy, and he's a naturopath, really brilliant human, but said he could sense a different type of movement through the cranial movements that he was doing, and he couldn't explain it, didn't know what to do, so he just allowed core to kind of unfold to him over the course of the last 20 years or so. And I like it a lot. The idea with core is that our body, our systems, they all have a rhythm that they flow in. Different trauma will knock it out of that rhythm. It's my job then to put it back in. And once it's back in, it opens up your self-healing abilities. A lot of things do, but core, to me, is just realigning you with the harmony of what's already happening in nature. It's like our bodies, it's almost as if we are playing the same song, but it's a different version, and ours is horribly out of tune. And we just maybe keep playing the same chorus over and over again, and we're stuck on this repeat while the rest of the world is like, hey, we got like 7 verses. What do you mean? Like, let's keep going, and we're just stuck here. So I can pass around this little, he made this little chart, and this is the birth body. Get a little close and pause it. He based a lot of it off of Dr. Randolph Stone's polarity therapy work. And so he does a lot of it with the elements, and then how the elements correspond to body parts and systems. And on the back is his geometric patterns. He believes that in each chakra field there is a head. And so each spot that you go for a chakra is also your head, which is why there are chakras in our head and above them. So we're just gonna do a little meditation, and I'll have you guys just sit back and relax and close your eyes, and I want you to visualize from the top of your head, from your crown, I want you to visualize a spiral moving counterclockwise down through the center of your body. And I want you to notice if that spiral gets stuck, where it stops at. Core is all about the pause. We don't need to go back through our trauma in order to release ourselves from it. We can just take a deep pause. And maybe that pause has to be for a little while. Maybe we need to digest on some things. But core is all about taking that time to just breathe into the spiral. So I want you to picture it going through your head, going behind your eyes, spiraling down behind your nose. And your spiral can be clear, it can be full of gunk, it could be a bright yellow light. It can be whatever you want it to be. Sometimes it's not what you want it to be, and there's stuff gunked up in our spiral, but it has to come down the spiral. So if you see gunk in your spiral, stop, pause, try to clear it. So if you've made it through your head, let's continue down, carrying everything down with us, down into our throat. Picture the spiral moving slowly, and with it carrying away all of the negative energy that you don't want in that body part anymore. Think of the headache that you had earlier today, or maybe you had a tickle in your throat. Picture that spiral carrying that down. Now picture it going through your chest. Go through the center of your body. picture your shoulders, picture it moving through your lungs, through your heart space. Picture it going down into your solar plexus. Picture it carrying everything out of your fingers and your arms, draining everything down with it. If you've reached your belly, let's take a pause there for just a minute and let the core regroup. Think of your spine, think of your posture and how you want the core spiral to strengthen these areas. We protect these areas because they are softer than the rest, and we're more vulnerable in these areas, and they need love and light. And so picture this spiral. It can be as small or as big as you want it to be. It can be as big as your body. It can be as small as a tube just in the center of you. However you picture your spiral, just let it pull and carry everything down towards your feet. So let's move into the pelvis and keep picturing the spiral counterclockwise, moving down through your perineal floor. Now it holds all of our trauma. It holds trauma from birth, trauma from this life, trauma from past lives. It holds it all right there. And we can carry it through us. So picture that trauma coming out through your perineal floor, through your legs, and picture the spiral now continuing down between your legs, carrying all of the negative energy with you. And the spiral is now in between your feet, and you can release everything into the floor. And I like to visualize, even if what came through the spiral was gunky and murky, and sometimes it's black, sometimes it is sludge and tar, that it is not a pretty sight. But we could turn it into something really beautiful. We could turn it into beautiful compost and lay it out at our feet and let it be beautiful, rich soil that we're going to use to ground us and to grow whatever we want to manifest in this world. So once you have it down between your feet, now let's move the spiral back up through the body. And this time creating a clearing space that's going to fill us with warmth and love and energy. And it can go as slow or as fast as you want it to. I like to go slow because the body likes to skip over things. It wants you to think, oh no, you don't need to look at that. It's okay. Here's a little speed bump. Whenever I notice those, I stop. I say, we're cleaning it all out now. I don't like to leave any residue behind. It grows. So if we can clear it all out, pull that spiral up through the center of you, up into your head, up through your head and to your crown chakra. And when you get there, open your eyes. How do you feel? Cool. Yeah, all right. So when I have trouble sleeping at night, I will practice this, and I will actually keep my hand on my perineal floor and my head and try to do a meditation and practice that. And it's a beautiful rocking motion that in the fetal position is basically when you're sitting there, and that little picture kind of shows it. But when you're curled up into that ball, and often, you know, when we sleep on our sides, we're sleeping in the fetal position. So we're creating that womb body for us to be able to hold and protect our space and release, you know, whatever we need. And when I have trouble sleeping at night, that's what I do. And it has always knocked me out. Like, I can't even, it took years of me practicing that before I wouldn't knock out. And now I can do core while I'm driving, and it's okay, you know. But you can also do this, we don't have to do it right now, but you can also do this on your chakras and make sure that they are spinning the way that they're supposed to, and you can feel kind of that motion. Most of the time, if you just have the intent that you want it to spin, it'll be counterclockwise, because looking on this way, but it's clockwise on the back. It's confusing. But picture it's going through the body. So it's not just on the front of you, but it's like a can that moves through the body in and out.
So when you do body work on the back, you move it clockwise, but if you do body work on the front, you actually move it counterclockwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that it's going the same direction. Yeah.
I always wondered that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you visualize the colors of the chakra when you do that?
I guess in the beginning I did. Yeah. I kind of just visualize whatever color pops up now, but sometimes I think if I can't get a chakra going, like if I go to an area and it just feels dead, it feels like nothing is happening here, I'll go to another chakra that I know is alert and awake, and my third eye is, I mean, if your third eye is not moving, you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah.
Open your eyes.
Yeah. Made me think of that South Park episode. If you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. But am I forgetting anything? Yeah. How do you all feel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So weird.
I love doing core on.
And it's funny because on the back it has a baby. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. When I do core on babies, newborns, it's always cool to see, because they their eyes light up and they look right at you, just like, what did you just do? You're like, yeah, I know. Like, you still remember. But the rest of us have had all this static and everything else that's kept us from remembering that flow and remembering it. And now that I've been practicing it for a long time, I see it in everything. Like, even this chair has core, you know, because it's matter like I'm matter. And so it's strange to think about. But plants and animals, try this on like your dogs and cats. So you'll never get them to leave you alone. I cannot ever walk into a room, even if I've never met the animal. They're like, hey, I sent something. You're like, all right. Like, here. Yeah, they do, yeah. And they just follow you around everywhere. But
Even if you're not the biggest fan of fuzzy, I'm not.
yeah,
Sensory-wise,
yeah.
I went to a client a couple of weeks back, and the dog didn't bark. And he was like, the dog didn't bark. I'm like,
Is it supposed to? Yeah.
and he was a friend's boyfriend, and he had never met me. And he's like, he always barks. Cool, want to be friends? Cool. Sat down and he was like, you are magical.
I always get that, especially with cats. But I'm year of the tiger, so I always have friends that cat never comes out to speak to anyone. Like, oh, it senses my tail back here, you know? Like, meow meow. Yep. Rawr.
That'd be funny if humans did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I?
Just say bye.
A ciao. Bye.